Welcome back to another exciting hour of All-Star Wrestling in the World Wrestling Alliance. Tremendous action coming up and one super main event. You know, I hope later on this afternoon we'll get an opportunity to talk to Rufus R. Jones. People still buzzing over what happened last week. Retired for 1 minute and then, I don't know, is he unretired or is he still retired?
Well, he's an upset Rufus R. Jones, I know that. At this time, I'd like to talk about the big main event for this super night of wrestling, day of wrestling. You know, when the match was signed, the world title defense, the title was held by Mike George. The fact that Mike George lost the world title, the match is still a world title match. The new champion, Masa Chono, will defend the world title against the former champion, Mike George.
Great. So our main event this hour, Mike George against Masa Chono, already signed before the title changed hands, but it will be for the World Heavyweight title when they meet in today's main event. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this match is a one-fall, 10-minute time limit. In this corner from Atlanta, Georgia, gentlemen, Ken Timbs. His opponent this evening from Kansas City, Kansas, T.C. Carter.
All right, fans, you heard it. One-fall match. Gentleman Ken Timbs against T.C. Carter. Bob Geigel, welcome back again. It's great to have you here during this hour to lend your expertise and keep us up with what's going on and who's coming into the World Wrestling Alliance and all the things that are happening.
That was a real shocker. Rufus R. Jones retired.
Where's your champions at? Where's your champions at?
Ken Timbs hollering to you, Bob Geigel, wanting to know where your champions are at.
I heard him. I'm sure there are plenty of champions that will go after Ken Timbs.
Well, you know,
I'll say this for Ken Timbs. He's an aggressive wrestler now.
Yeah, he's aggressive. Well, right now he's calling for Mike George. Now he's hollering for Peterson. He better keep his attention focused on T.C. Carter because losing to T.C. Carter sure won't get him any title matches. Timbs, while he works over T.C. Carter, continuing to call alternatingly for Peterson and George. Timbs talking in your direction, Bob Geigel, saying you can hide him, but he'll find them. Oh, what a high backdrop that was.
That's right. I hope he didn't get hurt.
If that didn't knock the wind out of him, nothing will. T.C. Carter's down.
Timbs is possessed. What got into him?
Well, he's been here, I believe this is the 4th week now he's been here, and apparently he's unsatisfied and he's anxious. He's obviously looking for champions and title matches. Big clothesline, well executed too.
Sure was. That was a devastator.
Well, he continues to laugh. Obviously, Ken Timbs in full control of this match. Watch out. There's T.C. Carter down on the floor. Ken Timbs certainly enjoying himself at this moment, strutting around the ring, demanding once again that promoter Bob Geigel quit hiding the champions and that they bring the champions to him.
He better keep his eyes on this T.C. Carter because this T.C. Carter is an improved wrestler. He's getting better every week. And don't be surprised to see that T.C. Carter up there competing pretty soon.
Well, I hope that gentleman Ken Timbs has thought out his challenges because Dave Peterson, the Central States champion, isn't very hard to find.
No, Peterson. Listen, don't look for that Peterson too hard or you'll find him. And Timbs better keep that thought in mind.
And you may regret it when you find him, too.
That's right.
I know a few top wrestlers that have tried and failed, namely Bob Brown and the Cuban Assassin. Dave Peterson's ducked nobody since winning the title on Christmas night. Timbs delivering a good, solid neck breaker on T.C. Carter. Count of 2. It appeared from our camera angle, Bob Geigel, that Ken Timbs jerked T.C. Carter up from behind the neck, preventing the 3 count on that one.
I think that's what he did. He's trying to punish TC.
Well, you know, this is exactly the same thing that Ken Timbs did last week on All-Star Wrestling here when he continued to punish Curtis Hughes far and beyond after he had defeated him. Big suplex from Timbs. Count of 2, and Timbs pulls him up again by the back of the neck. Timbs complying with the referee, but the referee is trying to tell him if the man's beat, pin him and get it over with. But Timbs continuing to fire away. You know, Bob, we've seen a few occasions like this where it's backfired before. That was almost one of those occasions, but not quite. T.C. Carter had the right intention. If Timbs mess around anymore, he's liable to lose this one.
Well, Timbs is a veteran wrestler.
Well, Timbs just called out school time, Bob Geigel, and delivers the DDT once again. There's the count of 3. Now we got the count of 3. Ken Timbs once again referring to you, Bob Geigel, telling you to bring him out. Let's go to the ring for our final announcement.
The winner of this match, gentlemen, Ken Timbs.
Once again, Bob Geigel, Ken Timbs victorious. We'll be back right after this. Fans, welcome back. The Central States Tag Team Tournament behind us. The crowning of new champions. Bulldog Bob Brown, the Cuban Assassin, and accompanied by, quote unquote, the $8 million man who, from my viewpoint, was quite responsible for these two individuals being the champions at this time. You know, you've been champions for 2 weeks now. Already, as I understand it from promoter Bob Geigel, the challenges are flying in from everywhere. Last week, right here on All-Star Wrestling, quite a contest between yourselves and obviously the #1 challengers for your title, the Cowboy Rick Patterson and Big Steve Ray. One worthy team of your title, another one to be here very soon, next week in fact, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. They've mentioned the Central States title by name. Don't forget, Rock and Roll Express, 5 times former NWA World Heavyweight Champions. They're looking for you.
Well, there's no one in this building than myself that knows the Rock and Roll Express. Now, I knew them when they first started. And right here in the Midwest, St. Joe, Kansas City, they used to take a shellacking at the hands of Bulldog Bob Brown. But let me remind you one thing. They're great competitors. You know, hey, they are the champions. But right now, if I'm not mistaken, they got stripped of their title not too long ago. They got beat. Now let's go back to Ray and Patterson. You know, they're a great team. You know, just a little bit more polishing up, they'll probably be up there where the Cuban and Bulldog Bob Brown is. To be champions, you've got to have it all the way up. There's nothing down here. It's got to be all the way to the top. And when you're tagged up with a great individual from Havana, Cuba, and you got a Canadian who don't care how he wins, and Cuba, I can tell you, they don't care how they win. Now, you put that combination together, and you tell me in your right mind, Mr. J. French, where is there a team that's capable of beating Bulldog Bob Brown?
I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to pass that question one step further. Let me ask the fans in the building today, do they want to see a match between you and the Rock and Roll Express?
You know what happened? the promoter of the WWA, Bob Geigel. When he told me to sign that paper, he don't tell me who I'm going to wrestle. Now you come and tell the people here that he's the rock and roll. Well, I'm going to tell you something. In Cuba, we don't play rock and roll. And when you talk about wrestling, they can drop kick. But me and Bob Brown can drop kick much better than them. We can take the rock and roll from corner to corner, post to post, in the floor, in the parking lot, and we're going to show the rock and roll that music got nothing to do with wrestling.
All I can tell you is Central States Tag Team Champions, you better be on the lookout. Whether it's Des Moines, Iowa, St. Joseph, Missouri, wherever it is, whether it's Cowboy Rick Patterson and Big Steve Ray or the Rock and Roll Express, everybody's looking for you. We'll be back, fans. Don't go away. Fans, welcome back. I've asked Rufus R. Jones to join me at ringside here. And Rufus, last week we saw a tremendous ceremony. It was touching. It was emotional. You announced your retirement, but it was a short-lived situation.
It was that, I couldn't stand here and watch Tim do what he did to the guy in the ring there. Curtis, he's one of my protege.
Right.
I went to the ring to try to start the match up there, and Tim jumped me from the back and tore my clothes off. Well, no man did it, Rufus Jones. Now, retirement people, I'm very sorry. Rufus Jones is not going to retire right now. I'm coming back at Tim. I don't care where it at. It be in the bar, it be in the alley, different all. Because Rufus Jones don't take nothing from nobody, and I don't give any.
Okay, Rufus, I'll tell you what we'll do right now. We got a little piece of a film clip here from last week. I don't know if you've had a chance to review it yet yourself or not. Why don't you sit back with me and take a look at it?
Okay.
All right here we see Gentleman Ken Timbs choking Curtis Hughes. This is after the match, Rufus. You can see the referees pushing him away.
You see the match is finished. There's no confidence at all. If you win the match, get your hand raised, and you leave the dressing room.
All right here, you're in the ring. You just gave him a big headbutt, but you seem content. You gave him the headbutt, you cleared the ring, and now your only concern seems to be at this point is Curtis Hughes.
That's right. All thing I want to do is see Curtis Hughes okay, get him back to the dressing room, take a shower, and get him home there. But right after that, watch this here, real close here. I couldn't see from the back.
No, obviously not. Curtis, obviously in a great deal of pain. He gave Timbs a tough match, and right here you can see it, right here.
I got a knee in the back here. I couldn't see from the back at all. Knocked the referee down, and here go the man turning my clothes off of me. Hey, that's a brand new jacket there.
This was a big night for you.
It cost me a lot of money. My big night, I was retired, everything else there. But I'll tell you one thing, and I tell all my fans, payback is hell.
Well, Rufus, if I understand it right, you're not coming back to active competition to win titles or make a reputation. You've done all that. You're basically looking for a fight. You're looking for a fight, and you're looking for Ken Timbs.
It's going to be a brawl, baby, and I guarantee you it'll be a brawl. What Rufus Jones said it'd be a brawl, it'll be a brawl. It'll be on the floor, in the chair, in the ring, doesn't matter to me at all. All I want to do is hurt the man. I want to hurt him, and hurt him real, real bad. And I guarantee you one thing. Anybody see him before I see him, you can tell him I'm looking for him. And when I'm looking for you, baby, I don't stop until I find you.
Well, Rufus R. Jones, last week I wish you good luck in your retirement, but this week I'm going to wish you good luck on a new mission. On behalf of all the fans here, I hope you get what you're looking for.
And I'll do just that, too. Thank you very much.
Rufus R. Jones, fans will be right back after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a tag team match. One fall, 15-minute time limit. From New York, in this corner, the Power Twins. And into the corner behind me here on my right, from San Antonio, Texas, Joe Lightfoot. His partner this evening from Samoa, Prince Tapu.
All right, fans, one fall tag team match coming right up. Another opportunity for us to look at the Power Twins here. They take on a team of Prince Tapu and the popular Chief Joe Lightfoot. Lightfoot out of San Antonio, Texas, and of course the Power Twins out of New York City, New York. And if you have any doubt about that, just try to hold a little conversation with them sometime, and you'll know exactly where they're from. You know, the Power Twins came in here with a goal in mind of the Central States Tag Team Championships. Of course, they participated in the tournament. Came up a little short like all the rest of the teams. Had an opportunity earlier to talk to the new Central States Tag Team Champions, of course, the ever unpopular team of Bulldog Bob Brown and the Cuban Assassin. And certainly those two individuals not lacking any confidence whatsoever. Lightfoot, of course, with the arm drag. Lightfoot back wrestling in the Central States after a brief absence, and he's looking real good. He's wrestling real good. I've had the opportunity to see him throughout the Central States, and he's really looking good. He seems to have a renewed determination about him. Power Twins seem to be having a little bit of problem with him, as Larry tags out to David, or maybe it was David that tagged out to Larry. In any case, the legal tag was made in this situation. Of course, later this hour, fans, you heard it from promoter Bob Geigel right here, your main event. Mike George meets Masa Chono, their first meeting for the world title since Mike George lost the title to Masa Chono. This was a match that was already signed to be held on this date. When the title did switch hands, promoter Bob Geigel made that the rematch. And what a match. I'm really looking forward to that. These two have just gone back and forth for the Central States television title, and now they're doing it for the world title. And I'm really looking forward to see the world title match right here on television. And hopefully we'll have plenty of time left in the program to bring you that match in its entirety. A real treat for the fans. Power Twins have Tapu tied up in that corner, working him over, making a legal tag in and out. Of course, they have the 5 count to get out of the ring. And it's Tapu finding himself on the short end of a double team. But right here, it's a Power Twin with a big bear hug. You know, the Power Twins, no small men by any stretch. And, of course, former power lifters. 2 big, strong guys. Fans, a lot of great action coming up all across the Central States. Of course, a big card coming up to Osage City, Kansas. And 2 big nights coming up in Iowa, Nevada, Iowa, and Fairfield, Iowa. It's really been a long time since we've been in Nevada or Fairfield. We're really looking forward to it. You know, the popularity of the World Wrestling Alliance really expanding and going out all over the world. Of course, fans have been writing in from Connecticut, from Nebraska, all over the world because they're watching us on their satellite dishes, as I understand it from all our letters. They're watching us from our Rocky Mountain Superstation, United Cable Channel 10. Got a nice phone call the other day from a big wrestling fan down in Florida, Mr. Ricky Nadelman, and he just loves the World Wrestling Alliance. And we love you, too. Big backdrop on Prince Tapu. Power Twins continuing to control this match. Tapu beat down after constant double teaming, trying to fire back, but these are 2 big, strong guys, and you really need to have full force if you're going to take them on. Tapu hard in the corner. Power Twin scoops him up. Oh! Quite a power slam. Of course, that's the finishing hold of Steve Ray, and it just finished off Prince Tapu right here. Let's go to the ring for the final announcement.
The winners of this match, the Power Twins.
There you have it, the Power Twins once again victorious, as it seems to be the usual case with the Power Twins. Their only loss seeming to come in a tag team tournament, and I know they're looking for another shot at the Central States Tag Team title, and you know, that'd be quite a match. Maybe the Power Twins against Bulldog Bob Brown and a Cuban Assassin. Fans, we'll be right back after this. Don't go away. Fans, just before our main event coming up later this hour, the world title match, the rematch between Mike George and Masa Chono. I've been joined here by the fabulous Timbs. Now, for the fans who are watching just a few minutes ago, during your match with T.C. Carter, you were calling for Dave Peterson, the Central States champion. You're calling for Mike George. It seems as though you're looking for champions and title matches.
Let me tell you something, Mr. J. French. You know, and Bob Geigel knows, and these people out here know, and especially you, Peterson, and you, Chono, and you, Mike George, and Bob Brown, and the Cuban assassin. I don't even care who you are. You know what I'm all about. When I step into the ring, things happen. Things change. Namely, titles change because I collect them. And let me tell you something now, Mr. Peterson and Mr. George Chono. I don't care which one of you win tonight. You will face me at one time or another, and I will beat you. And I make you a promise, and I make all of these underachievers a promise. I will be the first man to ever wear the Central States title and the world title simultaneously.
Well, then obviously with the main event coming up between Mike George and Masa Chono, it's pretty clear that you're going to be scouting these two out. But let's talk about another thing, and something that the fans will probably want to be a part of, and that's a match between you and Rufus R. Jones.
You know, Mr. J. French, I got up this morning and I looked at myself in the mirror, and you know what I saw? I saw definitely the best-looking wrestler in the world today. I saw the most capable man to ever grace the squared circle of date.
Well, if you're so capable, are you capable of meeting Rufus R. Jones here in the ring?
Get the cameraman to take a good close shot. I want you to look at this, brother. I want you to look at this. I want the ladies to see what a real man looks like. Look at the beautiful blonde hair. Look at the style, the grace, brother, because I am the ultimate man.
Ken Timbs, I don't know if I'm not making myself clear or I'm not getting a point across. Just a few minutes ago, I sat down here at ringside and watched the VTR of Rufus R. Jones here in this ring, and he made it perfectly clear he doesn't want any titles, he doesn't want to further his reputation, he wants a street fight, and he wants it with you.
Answer me a question. Has you ever in your life seen a man as great as I am? I know you try to dress accordingly, and I know these people are beneath us. They just don't understand. But I am the man of the hour, the tower of power. And JJ says I'm too sweet to be sour.
Well, Mr. Timbs, for information, a few minutes ago, when you were calling for champions and you were saying they could run but they couldn't hide, I believe Rufus R. Jones is looking for you. Maybe you can run, but I don't think you can hide. Fans, stay tuned. We'll be right back for the main event, the World Heavyweight title rematch, right after this. Fans, welcome back for today's main event, the world title match as called for from promoter Bob Geigel. And right down here, if we can get a shot, I'm scouting this match out. Dave Peterson, who just before we came on the air, issued a challenge to the winner of this match. Let's go to the ring for introductions.
This match, ladies and gentlemen, is the main event. This is for the WWA World Heavyweight Championship belt. First, introducing the champion to my left from Japan, Masa Chono, accompanied by his manager, Russell Sapp Esquire. His challenger this evening, Mike George.
All right, fans, there we have it. 1 fall, 1 hour time limit for the World Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight title. What a match this proves to be. Oh, no. What do you want me to do?
Y'all remember, I still want the winner of this match. I don't care who it is, all right? Yeah, I love you too.
Well, Dave Peterson offering his own response to Masa Chono's unique version of the English language, if you will. But Dave Peterson's intentions, nonetheless, crystal clear, and that he wants the winner of this match, and he wants a world title match. Dave, certainly, perhaps nobody no more worthy than you as a Central States heavyweight champion.
Well, Dave, you know, there's a lot of controversy about that world title anyway, you know. I think that I'm partially responsible for Mike George having a world title. I was the one that went out in the first round of the tournament, and I was the one responsible for getting the decision reversed on his match, and it cost me in the long run because Kareem Muhammad eventually, him and Bob Brown put me out of action.
Listen, Dave, let me find out about this. I know it's a lot of curiosity to wrestling fans and me. Would you wrestle Mike George, your longtime friend, for the world title?
Yeah, I'd wrestle anybody for a world title. I don't care who it is. You know, anytime you get into a sport like this, that's got to be your ultimate goal, or you have no business being in the sport at all. You want to be the best. Everybody wants to be the best. And wearing that belt means you are the best.
Well, that answers that question.
Yeah, crystal clear. I'm certainly straight on that.
There's been a lot of speculation about what would happen. Would Mike George defend the world title, should he, if he had it, against Dave Peterson?
Well, obviously, Dave, as a Central States heavyweight champion, pretty much becomes automatically the #1 contender for the world title. I think fans remember earlier this summer, prior to the formation of the World Wrestling Alliance, Dave, you had a couple matches, I remember, against the AWA world champion, Kurt Hennig, and you proved everybody, without a doubt, you're world caliber, you're definitely world championship caliber.
Well, you know, when I started this sport, I went to Mike George trying to get into this sport. And Mike told me I was too small, I was too young, I wasn't strong enough that everybody would kill me. That was his exact words, "They'll kill you, kid." Well, they haven't killed me yet.
They haven't killed you yet. No, they sure haven't.
Mike George held on to that. He had a wrist lock, and he's holding right onto it. This is going to be an exciting match. There's two great wrestlers here, just great wrestlers.
Well, you know, despite there's so much involved and the stakes are so heavy and the tensions are running so high with this being a rematch, you're still looking at two wrestlers who basically wrestle and have all the fundamentals and excellent wrestling backgrounds, and they're going to do what they do best in order to achieve that victory, and that's wrestle.
You know, I've been real surprised that Mike's held his temper, you know, after what happened in St. Joe a couple weeks ago when he lost the belt, and then come out here and try to have a scientific match with the Japanese guys. I got to give a lot of credit to Mike George.
Well, Dave, of course, you probably closer to Mike George than anyone. Have obviously had an opportunity to discuss the losing of his championship with him.
Oh, did you see that hip lock off the ropes? That was fabulous.
Well, Mike George is a pretty powerful guy. You don't want Mike George giving you the hip toss off the rope. But Chono certainly proved to be tough. Coming into the Central States just prior to the World Title Tournament and winning the Central States Television from Mike George. He's beating everybody.
That's right. Went for a single leg.
And answering your question earlier about talking to Mike about losing the belt, no, I haven't. Mike has been real silent and by himself and staying away from everybody since he lost the belt.
Well, maybe that explains why he's held his temper so well so far. But, you know, you just have to figure his temper's going to bust sometime.
Chono's got a toe hold, and that's a tough toe hold.
Well, he's cinching down with his body weight on the inside of Mike's leg while he's pulling at the ankle and feet. And stomping on that area where he just applied the pressure. Again, another stomp, and you can see Mike George's leg reddened already. Whoa! Masa Chono lucky he didn't break his neck on that one.
Boy, they're kind of sparring around, a little cautious.
Well, there's a lot at stake, Bob. You know, that world championship means an awful lot. You know, earlier, just last week, we looked at the magazine from Japan with all the great coverage. And truly, you know, I was talking to Bill after just yesterday on the telephone. Pro Wrestling Illustrated is coming out with a super spread on a world title tournament. It should be on the newsstands by the time the fans see this show. There's an awful lot of attention being focused on the World Wrestling Alliance and on the World Wrestling Alliance Heavyweight Championship right now, and a lot of pressure involved in holding that title.
You know, when Mike won that belt,
in his glory days, so to say. And then he only had it just, a month or so. And
just over a month.
And it made Mike realize that once you have that belt, that everybody's coming after you. And they're coming after you hard, and they'll do anything to win it. You know, Mike George and Chono, they join a long line of great wrestlers. Look at what's happened in the past. Former great Pat O'Connor, Dory Funk, Gene Kiniski, clear back to Ed Strangler Lewis. Got a bar arm. He's got that bar arm hook, too.
Mike George right now in control of this match. Masa Chono a little bit tied up. Obviously, Masa Chono needs to figure a way out of this and get back on track.
He's got that hammerlock from the back.
Good shot of that from the cameraman. Super job. Mike George really applying the pressure hard on that arm right now. Chono's going to have to dig down deep to get out of this one. You know, Bob, once again, a reminder for the fans out there, your negotiations continue. This Lord Malater due here next week, right here on All-Star Wrestling. And, of course, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson.
One of the greatest tag teams in the country. They're right up there with Cuban and Bulldog, Bob Brown. They're really an outstanding tag team.
Boy, would that be a match.
Referee's warning Chono about the hair pull. I didn't see it. I didn't notice the hair pull. Did you see that?
Well, Mike clinching up that fist there, but, you know, it's a momentary thing. I think he knows better.
You can just about bet that sooner or later the tempers are going to get out of hand. This match has been a really good scientific match so far, but how long it'll last?
Well, they're doing what they do best right now. They're wrestling, but as they grow tireder, and the fear of having the other competitor grow stronger, you're going to reach down and do anything you can to get that world title. And obviously, Chono's reached that breaking point already. Ten minutes.
Front face lock, both on the mat. Chono's holding on to that front face lock. Right, he's putting all his weight right down on Mike, driving him down on the mat, trying to wear him out. Mike's a big man, but when you got 230, 40 pounds, whatever Chono weighs, sitting on top of your head, eventually it's going to wear you down, man. I think Mike does have a slight weight advantage in this match, doesn't he? Mike probably weighs, 255? Oh, Mike's heavier than that. Is he heavier than that? I know Chono is probably 235. Chono is taking advantage of the rope. Putting more pressure on Mike George's neck.
Bob, you know, we were talking earlier about the invasion of the World Wrestling Alliance of Lord Malater and the Rock and Roll Express. As I understand it, you've also had some conversations with Dr. D, David Schultz, and even Sergeant Slaughter.
That's right. Dr. D and Sergeant Slaughter will both be back on the World Wrestling Alliance sometime this spring or summer.
Of course, both of these men competed along with Dave here in the World Title Tournament. But now that that's over and it's sorted out and we have a champion, everybody's coming back and they're looking for that match against the champion one-on-one as opposed to a tournament situation. And obviously, Dave, a stepping stone to the world title is the Central States title. Certainly anybody who comes in here, whether it's a Lord Malatar or a David Schultz or anyone else, they're going to be looking for you as a stepping stone to that world title.
Chono's got that figure four on the head. He's putting a little pressure on it, too. That'll make your head look like a pretzel, Dave.
Chono continues.
Ask him about some hair pull. I can't see it from where I'm at, but
I don't think Chono's going to give him the answer he's looking for.
well,
Mike trying to turn this around.
That's right. He's trying to get out of that head scissors. I don't know if he's going to make it or not. I think he's out. Mike got out.
Mike's out. Chono's a little close to those ropes. Yeah, they felt that one. You can see the expression on Chono's face. He sure felt that one.
Oh, that'll make you go to the little boys' room funny for a couple days.
Yes, it will. Chono's going to carry a reminder of this match. And George working on that back, working on the kidney section again. Maybe he's found a weak spot here. Mike just might have found a weak spot.
That's a forearm to the lower back.
Putting up that leg.
Nope, not ready
Knows
yet.
better than that. Mike knows better than that. He's just not thinking. He's trying to get it quick.
Yeah, you need to hook that leg, but I don't know if Chono is quite ready. He might be after that one, though, Dave Peterson. Count of one. Chono using the hair to break that one up. Good shot of Russell Sapp there, watching the action close. It'd be a shame if Russell Sapp interfered in this match. You don't want to see any title change.
You really think Russell Sapp knows what he is watching there?
Dave, he's sitting about 5 feet from you. It's quite possible he's got one eye on the match and one eye on you.
You know, Mike's a very intelligent wrestler. You know, he tries to go for a couple pins. They don't work. He goes back to working a hold, trying to wear his opponent down. Oh.
George working on that midsection again, continuing to take the attack to Masa Chono. Mike George Simpson and Chono might be wearing down. But Chono fires back with those kicks, and boy, if those kicks won't take it out of you, I don't know what will.
Oh, that's a quick slam. And you think he ain't strong? Mike's 270 pounds. He threw him down like a sack of potatoes.
Well conditioned. Count of one only, and Mike's right out of there. Neither man ready to concede this match or be pinned at this point. But you can see where they've just gone back and forth, continuing the punishment on each other.
Oh, good backdrop. But tell you what, you're going to have Mike George beat down to nothing this time. He wants that belt back, and he wants it bad. Come on, ref.
Chono, of course, using something a little different than your average Oriental wrestler here as he uses that fist on Mike George. Most of the Oriental wrestlers using the chop. Chono uses both the fist and the judo chop. But George firing back with a good old American right hand of his own. Mike George, he's got Masa Chono down. Mike George, goes to the leg here.
He's got to stretch that hamstring out.
Yes, it sure will. And Chono driven down hard, face down on the mat. And the pace really picking up here, Dave.
The tempers are going now. They forgot about
Chono. Boy, could we hear that one. Because Mike George just drove his face down in the mat. Count of two. Masa Chono gets the foot on the rope.
Look at Mike. Look at did you hear that?
15 minutes. 15.
Look at the determination on Mike's face.
Oh, yeah. You can just see it written all over his face.
He's possessed.
You know, it was a few months back in November, when Mike George announced during one of our TV tapings in St. Joe that he wanted to become world champion. And you know, Dave, how hard Mike worked for that title.
Yeah, you know, Mike's been in the sport for, 12, 13 years now. And like I said before, that's your ultimate goal. Oh, Mike.
Caught him.
Kick in the air. I don't know what you call that, but
that could be it right there. Count of one, two, and Mike close to the rope.
He found the rope.
Just a minute ago it was Chono using the ropes, and now turnabout is fair play, they say, Dave. And Mike George with his foot across the ropes.
I'll tell you what, if I can't get out of a pin, I'll be the first one to use the rope. I mean, especially when the world title is on the line, anything goes.
Well, people can say what they want. Oh! No, I don't think, Dave, anybody gives a suplex better than Mike George.
Only the back suplex. That's
tremendous suplex.
Devastating moves in wrestling.
Tremendous suplex. Both men down right now, trying to get up to their feet. So much riding on this match.
Look
and
at
the outcome of it.
on Mike George already.
Oh, definitely.
You think this ain't a tough match?
Sure, everything's at stake.
Look at the bruises on Chono.
He's got him up. Oh! Chono down hard on his back. But Chono right back. Back and forth. And Chono, he's got it, Dave. You call it. He's got the stretch on Mike George. He's got it on him. really pulling at that midsection of Mike George.
Mike's got a handful of hair there.
Dave, it really puts a test of your guts when they got a punishing hold like that on you and everything inside of you hurts. But Mike George, true to the test, kicks out of it.
He's going to recuperate here. He's going to try to.
Fans, wherever you are, make your plans to get down to the matches. Great matches coming up this week. Kansas City, Kansas Memorial Hall, a super card with a Rock and Roll Express. Osage City, Kansas, Nevada, Iowa, Fairfield, Iowa, count of 2, and Mike George. Just great action all over the Midwest and the Central States. Wherever you see the World Wrestling Alliance and All-Star Wrestling, you're assured of seeing the finest in professional wrestling competition. Chono here with the reverse. The pace has really picked up in this match, Bob Geigel.
Bob, since you've been gone, the wrestling's just about all been forgotten. This is a fight now.
Chono charges across that ring. Caught that knee on the turnbuckle. Oh, Mike George, big kick to the back of the leg.
Figure 4, he's going for the figure 4.
He's going for it. Not quite. He's going. Chono trying to fight back. Mike George has got it. He's got the figure 4, Dave.
Now he's got it.
He's got that figure 4 cinched down right in the middle of the ring. You can see Russell Sapp really worried about this. Masa Chono screaming in pain here.
Russell Sapp better be worried. This is his moneymaker here in the ring.
Yes, exactly. The world title slipping away from Russell Sapp and Masa Chono right now. Mike George has got it clamped down right in the middle of the ring here.
Chono's going for the rope.
He's going for the rope. Mike, hold it.
He's got it.
Dave, I don't know if you saw the expression on Masa Chono's face. He's cringing. He's crying out with pain here. That's got to be one of the most punishing holds in all of wrestling.
You know, if you want to talk about knee injuries and leg pain, I can tell you all about them. And I know what that figure 4 feels like.
Of course, the figure 4 taken many a man to great places, most notably Jack Briscoe to the NWA World title. And it looks like it could be a repeat right now for the figure 4.
That right there was a 270-pound elbow across the knee first.
You know you feel that. Fans, we're quickly running out of time here. Please, in the control booth, stay with this match as long as you can. We want to bring everything we can to the fans. Tremendous match. Tremendous match here. Mike George clamped down with that figure 4.
There's really no way out of this hold there except to go to the rope.
Tremendous match. Mike George still with the figure 4. Fans, we're down to the last few seconds of this match. Quickly, this match is running out. Got 15 seconds left. Stay with it as long as you can. Mike George he's got the figure 4 clamped down. Masa Chono about to concede. Fans, don't go away. Be here next week.